What's up guys, how y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here, bringing another World Tanks video. For those of you that are new here, please feel free to subscribe to my video. And for my regular viewers and subscribers, hello, welcome on all, one and all. It is very important for you guys to drop a like button, as it enables my channel to grow and flourish. Please drop a like now, or if you truly have enjoyed yourself, drop it at the end of the video. Thank you very much. And today I shall be conducting a review, my review, of the T-20 American Medium Tier 7. This is part of the American Medium line, which I'm currently grinding out, leading up to the M48 pattern. Getting into this tank was like a breath of fresh air. It was preceded by the Jumbo Sherman. I did not have a great time in the Jumbo Sherman. Heavy in armor, not very agile, not very mobile, did not want to do what I wanted it to do. And as a result, when I got into the T-20, ooh, it was, like I said, a breath of fresh air. Very mobile, very agile. Did what I wanted it to do, and I could get in, take pot shots, pull out, you know, duck in and out of cover, get out of situations, and get into situations, help out, and etc. etc. And because I didn't have such a great time in my Jumbo Sherman, I did not do a review of that tank. That basically because my kind of opinion was kind of clouded. You know, my judgment was kind of clouded because of the poor matchmaking and the fact that I didn't really enjoy the tank. And as a result, I didn't think I was worthy to review that tank. T-20, like I said, totally different. Love this tank. Let's take a look at the stats, shall we? The T-20 basically has 1,000 hit points, which is average compared to the other Tier 7 mediums, the Comet, the Panther, and the T-43 on the Xbox. Nothing special, nothing fantastic. I believe it is the fastest tank out of all the other Tier 7 mediums, 56 kilometers per hour. Good traverse speed on the good track traverse speed, good traverse speed on the turret. And the only Achilles heel of this tank is its armor. It has the worst out armor out of all the other Tier 7 mediums. When you're playing this tank, you basically need to keep that in mind. It has 64 at the front, 51 at the side, and 38 at the back. Keep this in mind when playing this tank. Don't roll out on the battlefield thinking I have the worst armor out of all the mediums. Simply think of it, I would say, as a heavy scout. If you think of it as a heavy scout, you kind of trick yourself, in my personal opinion, and you do well. It's a heavy scout. That's how I use it. It's a little bit slower than a regular scout, but it has, you know, a fantastic gun. You know, a fantastic. You know, let's get into the gun, shall we? Let's take a look at, one last thing before we go. It has two different types of turrets. Basically, it has, as you can see, the D1, which is kind of rectangular when you look at it from the side, and it has a lot of junk sticking out of the top. And it has the D2. Pretty much both of these turrets have pretty much the same amount of armor, but they're just slightly different when it comes to shape. As you can see, the D2 is slightly smaller, less junk on top, and sloped at the back. But let's take a look at the guns, shall we? The guns are very, very interesting. As you can see, first one, 76mm M181, 14.29 rounds per minute, penetration 128, damage 115. Second one, 76mm, again, jumps up to 18.18, penetration 128, damage 115. Then we move on to the 90mm. 90mm, 6.38 rounds per minute. So a dramatic drop in the rate of fire. but the penetration goes up somewhat, 160, and the damage is double, 240. And of course we have the derp gun, the 105 howitzer. I believe it's a howitzer. 7.5 rounds per minute. Penetration lousy as always. Damage 410. I did not get that much success using this gun because this tank basically goes up to tier 9, so I did not have as much success using the derp gun on the T20, pardon me, the T20, as I did in the Jumbo Sherman or the other American mediums basically. So it wasn't as effective. Now, keeping in mind, before I did this tank review, I had I had a look at a whole other tank reviews of the T20 by other YouTubers, and all of them favored the 90mm. And personally, I disagree. I totally disagree. I had most of my success came from using the 76mm M1A2, and that was primarily because of its rate of fire, 18.18. Yes, damage goes down considerably, but that rate of fire is fantastic, is absolutely fantastic. Because of that rate of fire, you get 2,090 points damage per minute basically, and that is fantastic compared to the other tier 7 mediums. The only tank you can compare it to when it comes to this gun is the Comet, and the Comet doesn't even, it just barely beats it, the Comet, with its 75mm and 77mm. This gun was the most effective basically for me, and gave me the most amount of success when I was rolling out with this gun, and it was because of the rate of fire. People will take you for granted. You've unloaded a shot and they think, okay, I've got another, whatever it is, 5, 10, 15 seconds till your next shot comes in. And also they see that you're a smaller tank, a smaller size tank, and you just get taken for granted, which is fine, which is great, which is fantastic, because while they are taking you for granted, basically, you just unload. Yes, this gun is fantastic. The rate of fire, unbelievable. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's do a gameplay where I demonstrate using this fantastic gun. Okay, so here we are on Westfield Standard Battle. Tanks are predominantly tier 7, a few tier 8, but Standard Battle. And as always in Westfield, if you take the hills, if you take the town, you pretty much win the game. It kind of secures you the victory. So as you can see, I've spawned down near the flag, and I don't like being down there. They're not very, you can't be very effective on the right hand side of the map unless you're a TD. So I like to head into town, even though I lose 2 minutes of travel time basically. So the T20, I'm rolling out my 76mm, the second version of the 76mm, and this gameplay is kind of demonstrate how effective this gun is, how effective the reload speed is. So like I said, you're a heavy scout, treat it as such basically. Don't take your armor for granted. Keep in mind, all the other guys, big bad boys, and they can obliterate you, in a heartbeat. So protect your weaknesses, the armor, and take advantage of your strengths, which is, the fantastic reload speed in this gun. And I think I mentioned this before, but the damage per minute of this gun is, I think it was 2100, about there. And when it comes to the 90mm, it just hits over 1500, so you're losing about 25% damage, possible damage inflicted on the bad guys per minute, which is considerable, in my personal opinion. And here you see me from this T-29, and he's not oblivious to me, of course not, but he has tunnel vision for somebody bigger and badder, you know, that's in front of him. Basically, he does manage to get a shot into me, and you know, I don't take that for granted. You know, I respect the fact that, you know, it's a T-29. I'm definitely scared of him, but I'm not afraid, you know, to take pot shots at him. And he's basically, in my opinion, his mindset is he's taking me for granted. He sees I'm a small tank, he sees I've unloaded, and he thinks basically he's got time. You know, he's got time to deal with this guy in front of him and deal with me straight after. And I see this happening so often when I'm rolling out with this gun. You know, people just take for granted my reload speed, which, like I said, is fantastic. You know, it's unbelievable. It really is, because in World of Tanks, it's all about those little clutch moments, and you so many times you're so close but yet so far, you know, and this gun basically just helps you out with those clutch moments. It really does. And it just comes through. It just comes through because of that fantastic reload speed. And remember, don't forget about the armor. The armor is piss poor. It's absolutely terrible. So do not take that for granted. You're there to support. You're there to flank. You're there to help the other tanks out. But one-on-one, do not do that. And you know, unless, you know, like there's a big old house between you and the other tank, which is what just happened. Then you can take advantage again of your fantastic reload speed and just get pot shots in. You want to be ducking in and out of cover and just taking pot shot after pot shot after pot shot. But one-on-one, do not even attempt it. Do not even, you know, consider it, basically. But look, the fantastic speed of this thing. It just I pulled out of that situation. I've pulled over to this side of the map, you know, compared to the, you know, the Jumbo Sherman. Yeah, I love this tank, basically. Get another nice hit on the buttocks of this Centurion. Have no problem going in and finishing him off. He's basically, he doesn't know where I'm gonna pop out from. Misses his shot, and look, I bounced, but again, that reload speed just comes through, saves the day. And I move onwards to nice little bounce there, and I move onwards to move in basically down here to take care of the Arty. I know the Arty is down here, and lo and behold, 2 pieces of artillery, and I think it's Christmas, basically. And I'm just gonna take advantage of my speed, the traverse speed, and do a little bit of ring around a rosy around these 2 bad boys, take them out for dinner and not call them in the morning. Gentleman tries to pull back all the way up to the red line, doesn't make it, managed to get tracked using 1 piece of artillery to protect me from the other piece. And bingo, 3 kills. Not bad for a tank which has the, oh pardon me, 4 kills. Not bad for a tank that has the weakest armor of all the tier 7 mediums. Fantastic game. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my review of the T-20 medium. I shall be moving on shortly to the Pershing, and I will be bringing a review of that tank. Like I said before, please drop a like for this video if you've enjoyed it. It helps my channel out big time, greatly appreciated. Take it easy, guys. Adios, muchachos. I'll see you guys on the battlefield.